Welcome to Mahogany Muse, and if you're returning, welcome back. If you like this video and the other content I have, be sure to like, share, follow us, or subscribe wherever you're listening to this at. And today's topic, self-love and self-care. What does self-love mean to you? What does self-care look like for you? And is having boundaries a part of self-love? And we also have a bonus question. When is the last time you said no to someone or something you care about? Join us on our Patreon, where we have a library, exclusive content, and of course the self-mastery course and an abundance of other options available. Sign up is free, and that will get you on the list to participate with our monthly Sister Circle gatherings. We are here to create a deeply connected sisterhood where we learn, share, and grow together as women. Mahogany Muse is a collective of women actively implementing personal development while building lasting bonds. Here we are healing, doing the work of self-mastery while having a supportive community of sisters learning together as we grow. So here we're going to talk about the mission and the purpose. We are a compassionate community dedicated to creating a sacred and nurturing space for women. Our focus is on fostering deep empathy, introspection, and authentic connection among those on a journey of personal and spiritual growth. If you would like to hear more, check out the video titled The Mission and the Purpose on my channel.
They were prevented from marriage and childbirth, and they were renowned for their strength and bravery in Africa. The Black Panthers were an all-female military unit established by King Hawagbaja, ruler of the Kingdom of Dahomey, between 1645 and 1685, for his personal protection and the security of his palace. The unit was composed of captives from rival tribes, the marginalized, and criminals. Its members were forbidden from marriage and childbirth. They surpassed the men of other kingdoms in sword fighting and throwing poisoned spears. They played a decisive role in resisting the French invasion, even choosing death over surrender in the final Dahomey War, which ended in 1892 as a testament to their eternal motto of loyalty.
Hey, it's Tara, the maker of Pure Alkhemi Co. Today, I'm introducing a fragrance that's very sacred to me. Black Girls Rock was inspired by my experience as a Black woman and what I've witnessed by way of others. The bold confidence, sheer beauty, divine feminine resilience we embody, nurturing the sacred bonds of family and sisterhood, our unique sense of style while facing life, balancing our flexibility, working harder than most, the ability to turn nothing into something. We literally have the Midas touch. The fierce protective power we exude if something we need or love is threatened. Our capacity to exhibit poise and grace under fire. All of this wrapped up into one package is truly Black Girl Magic, and this one is for you. Black Girl Rocks is an intricate and complex blend of earthy and oceanic aromas with fruity nuances. Top notes of pineapple, plum, and ozone blend into mango. Mangosteen, citrus, and sea salt at the heart, rounded out by dark musk, palm sugar, and sage at the base. Black Girls Rock is a unique fragrance that many will enjoy. It's truly a celebration of who we are. Free samples come with each order so you can personally experience how Black Girls rock. Like, share, subscribe, and follow us on our socials at Pure Alkhemi. Subscribe to our mailing list to be notified about our promotions and new products on our website, purealchemy.com. See you there. The following TikTok live was done on Saturday, November 16th, I do believe. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy what you hear, and I would love to see some comments and conversations below. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in, self-love and self-care. So that's what the topic is going to be tonight. What does self-love mean to you? What does self-care look like for you? And is having boundaries a part of self-love? Now, I definitely have some strong opinions about all of this, and I know y'all do. So, let's see. You can request up, Empress. Feel free if y'all want to come on up so we can get the conversation flowing and going. Hey, Deanne. Psych Nurse. What's up, VJ? Hey, TT. What's going on, little Scrappy? Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How's everyone else doing?
Pretty good. Oh, we on
Peace.
camera
Can y'all
today,
hear
Miss
me?
Empress. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I was in the middle of something though, ma'am. I was fixing
Oh,
my
well, you can drop.
thing. No.
You.
It's on my
Oh,
camera.
okay. All right, so
Trying to
there we
record
go.
my
So now let me
face.
see if I can. What's going on, Ash?
Hey Ash. Hey Oria.
Hey, how's it going, Mahogany? How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Doing well. Hey, everyone.
It's good to see you guys tonight.
Yeah, always.
Oh, man. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying to play with this background again. I think I should just leave it alone, but I can't help it.
Okay, honestly, we were talking about this last night. And to be clear, right? You pick the guy who has his hand raised that has the outline around him, right?
That's what I did last time, but I think is I have to do something else. So hold on, it's something else with the grid or the layout. So y'all bear with me.
Yeah, no worries.
And I don't think this was it because it still had that's not it. Let me try something else.
Because it's like you put up your prompt and then you're able to put up the background on top of the grid. I was able to do it once and I literally was trying to explain it to someone. That sounded kind of crazy because I couldn't remember exactly how I did it.
No. That's okay. I'm going to play around with it because I got it last time. And we're just going to see how it works until I figure it out. But you know what? I don't even really need the background. The picture is beautiful, so we're just going to leave it like that. I don't have to have all that. Hey, Destiny.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I like it.
Well, thank you. So let's go ahead and get the conversation going. Thank you, tacos. Okay, so self-love and self-care. What does self-love mean to you? I'm going to get us started off. For me, self-love has a lot of different things that could be included in that. But for me, it means that in every decision that I make, I'm making sure that I take care of me before I do things for other people. Every decision that I make in terms of maybe jobs or, financial planning, specifically mental health, I'm taking the time to make sure that I make decisions that are in my best interest. That also includes not doing things that aren't in my best interest. It really means having love for myself and making sure that everything I do is contributing to living my best life in the current moment. Minute by minute, checking in with myself, seeing if I am okay. Seeing if I am okay and if there's anything else that I may need. And just making sure I'm doing a daily check-in with myself and taking the time to do the things I need to do for me and that I'm not people pleasing. Because sometimes as women, we can feel the need to want to do things for everybody else and be there for other people. Hey, Lady K, we can want to be there for other people and do things for everyone else. And sometimes that ends up having us in a scenario where our cup is half empty or our cup is empty because we're pouring out for other people, but we're not making sure that we do the things to make sure we are taken care of. Hey, Divine Isis. So that's going to be my answer. I may add on some to that later, but that's what I'm going to start off with. So, and thank y'all ahead of time for tapping the screen, continuing to like the live. And thank you for any gifts that you have given me to help reach my goal. And we're going to go from there. So, Empress, Tacos, or Ash, or Miss Neurodivergent, I do believe that, yep, that's your name. We can start off from the top if Empress is ready.
Well, personally, self-love and self-care is one of my most favorite topics. So, and when I found out that you were talking about this, I was excited. But for me on this journey now, self-love has become more in depth for me. It can be as small as me not honoring, like, if it's something that I don't want to do and I don't have to do it, like it's not an obligation. It goes as far as me honoring myself over whatever that person wanted me to do, or that need of that person, whatever, to have my presence there. If it's not aligned with me, I honor me. And it's like, I've been redeeming myself because there's so many times where I have pushed aside what I wanted or pushed aside what I felt for the sake of others or for the sake of other things. And in this chapter of self-love, it's all about what I want. And because I know I operate out of love, I just don't always get that back. So to make sure I get that back, I've given it to myself. And it's been a lovely journey, honestly, because I'm a good person and my love is really good. You get to find that out too. That's what I love about this journey. You get to really find out what everybody's been talking about, when it comes to you. So that's all. I'll have more to chime in, but I definitely want to hear from the other ladies, their experiences. And of course, I love yours. So I'm done.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Tacos Are Spiritual, because tacos are spiritual.
Yes, they are indeed.
So what does self-love mean to you?
Ooh, self-love to me means that I am my first priority. I am my first choice. I am my only true concern. And that's where I'm at now. The first time I ever heard about self-love was my mother telling me, you have to love yourself. And now the caveat of that is that my mother's my first, what you call, like, person to hurt you. My mother's a narcissist. So it was so I didn't like, so it took me a long time and a lot of turning over of many stones to realize that self-love was simply just the act of putting myself first, and not just putting myself first in a way of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Impulsive, putting myself first in a way of benefit where it best served me, taking my time for me, literally just making my life about me, whatever that meant. And I'm really happy to be here now, to be honest. It's a very beautiful place to be, and I ain't never leaving.
Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, typically when you love on yourself, you find out that you are the best and most beautiful place that you could ever be. Often we're looking for love in all the wrong places, and the very first place that we should fall in love with anyone is ourselves. Ashley Rose, what does self-love mean to you?
Yes, I love what everyone said. So as to not be redundant, I'm going to try to come up with additional things. I would say one of the first things that come to mind, though, is also seeing yourself. Like, I think that the way that you take the time to discover all of the little intricate details about what makes you you it's a journey. It's a beautiful journey. I think that is super important when it comes to self-love, because you want to be a safe place for yourself, the same way you're a safe place for someone else. And I think one of those examples is like your self-talk. And if you came from, I too, came from narcissistic parenting, if you came from just toxic parenting in general, if you grew up in just a toxic environment where people thought it was okay to talk to you crazy and you weren't old enough to stand up for yourself yet, I think that as an adult, you may or may not feel like, oh, let me give myself tough love because that's what's going to really get me motivated to do life well. And you realize over the time that that's probably not the case. You know what I mean? And being kind to yourself might look like talking to yourself sweetly. And if you're a person who like has an example, or as an example, if you're like a person who's late all the time, like I am not a morning person, I'm a night owl. So when there's somewhere I have to be early in the morning, I'm likely going to be late unless it's like an obligation to be on time, right? And one of the ways that I used to talk to myself, I used to really be hard on myself in those moments. But I remember one time I woke up late, per usual, and I had my little alarm clock, and after it had gone off for the 30th time, I was like, all right, sweet girl. I'm like, all right, sweet girl, let's get out of bed. Let's go. You got this. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? And I noticed, I was like, wow, like I remember the days when that was not how that internal conversation used to go,
Right.
And so being sweet to yourself, being kind to yourself, seeing you for you, recognizing your strengths, your weaknesses, and holding space for that and honoring that is also a part of self-love in alliance with what everyone else has already said. I land.
Valuing yourself first. All right. But that was a really good internal conversation that you just shared with us, because a lot of times we are having not so nice conversations with ourselves when we're not pleased with our actions. It's almost like we're expecting perfection from us at all times, despite the fact that life happens, you know?
Exactly.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Miss Neurodivergent, how are you?
Hey y'all, I'm good. What's good, sis? It's good to see y'all. I love being on panels with fellow Black women. Oftentimes when I get on a panel, it's a lot of arguing, but this is such an important topic, so I really appreciate you, Mahogany. What does self-love mean to you? First off, it means not living through the white gaze. It means being my natural-haired, thick-ass self and not trying to shape and mold myself around the comfortability of white people or people of European descent. What does self-care look like for you? It looks like not self-medicating. I'm an addict in recovery. I have 4 years alcohol-free, but I'm about to go back to rehab.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I'm about to go back to rehab for Mary Jane and nicotine. I'm just ping-ponging as an as a survivor of grape and things like that. For me, self-care is really important. I have PTSD. And so part of my self-care is not self-medicating, but I think that's an act of rebellion as Black people, because since enslavement, literally Frederick Douglass said that in his autobiography, Monday through Friday, people were worked nearly to being unalived. And then on Saturdays, the enslaved people were given alcohol as quote unquote medicine for the ABUSE, end quote. And so this has been going on in our community for quite literally centuries, and it's rooted in white supremacy. And so the last thing is having boundaries a part of self-love? Absolutely. As someone who's in recovery from X addiction with an S to alcoholism, boundaries are huge for me, especially with men. And I think a lot of times men, regardless of color, don't respect boundaries. They push them and push them. And as women, we're expected to be okay with that. But I'm a strong Black woman, and I'm not taking that shit anymore. All right, that's it.
Well, thank you so much for your contribution. And again, best of luck and congratulations on what you have accomplished so far with making sure that you love yourself and that you are caring for yourself.
I really appreciate your words. Thank you.
All right, Pia, we are answering number 1, but first, how are you?
I am blessed. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So number 1 is, what does self-love mean to you? And we're just gonna answer number 1, and then we're gonna go back to the top and number 2. Now, if anyone in the comments wants to come up and join the conversation, we do have 2 boxes open. Hey, Bella.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Pia, with number 1. Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, Pia.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So self-love, what I've discovered with self-love, it's actually your mind, body, and spirit. It's when you allow your mind, body, and spirit to develop and to become one. That's what has allowed me to stop all voids inside. That's what's allowed me to understand myself as a whole person, not just your body, not just your mind, but your spirit, all of them connected together. And I actually broke down each one. I've seen this because I've seen in my family that there was mental health, a lot of mental health. I know as Black people, we go through a lot, and our ancestors have too. And I always thought, how is it that they've survived all this stuff? How is it that we're surviving as a group through all this stuff? And the reason why is because we're not taught this, but we know that our bodies go through puberty and our bodies mature and it grows. And we know by food, physical food, that's how it grows and it matures. We know that our mind at the 25 years old, our frontal lobe develops and our brain starts to mature as well. So I said, what about our spirit though? And when you start the journey for your spirit, that's when your spirit starts to mature. That's when your spirit starts to grow. And that's when people finally realize themselves. They can look at their body and start loving their body. They can think and stop in their mind and have mindfulness and have gratitude and love for what we call life, this experience that we have here on this planet. And you start to understand it. When your spirit, your mind, and your body connects and they're all mature, that's your self-love. The things that you do to make sure you're growing in each area, that's self-love. And that's it.
The things you do to grow in each area is self-love. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your feedback on that. We have Belladonna next. Bella, what do you have to say or add to the prompt? Number 1, well, first of all, how you doing tonight? Why?
I mean, why not? Why not?
You can't help being a goofball. You just can't help it. Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm actually doing well. I am doing well.
Okay. She can't help it. All right. So what does self-love mean to you?
Self-love, and what does it mean to me, is making sure that my sanctuary is truly my sanctuary. Not only where I reside, but within. Being able to quiet the noise that is necessary to be quieted in order to truly look within self, to hear the recesses of the mind, the cries and the screams, and comfort and soothe them so the soul is no longer fractured.
All right.
And then once you have gathered all of those shards and put them in the places where they need to be for that soul to be wholly aligned, then you have whatever routine that is necessary to protect that, be it a sound bath or walking in the rain barefoot, certain aromas mixed around you while sitting in warm or cool water, things of that nature. That's your sanctuary. That's your tranquil space.
All right. I have a follow-up question. Thank you for giving us your take on what self-love is. I have a follow-up question for number 1. Hey, Trini, why is self-love important? And I'm saying it from this vantage point, not just for you. This is for everybody on the panel. Why is self-love important? Why is it that, and I'm going to frame it like this. Why should we have knowledge of self-love prior to getting into relationships? And possibly, hopefully, prior to having children, although some of us may not have had the opportunity to have that. But why would that be important? Are we
The
gonna
primary.
start back up at the? I'm gonna come. Do you want to answer this now, or
I'm
because
gonna
I was
answer it real
gonna?
quick, and then I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna dance to myself over here. But the
Okay.
primary purpose of loving and knowing self is where you have clarity in regards to entering a dynamic of partnership where both parties are whole within. And when you have two individuals that are whole and they bring a little one into the dynamic, it's a safe space for the little one because you're only put here to guide. That's it. That's all.
All right. Okay. Let me accept. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. We're gonna go to back to zero because she just came up here. Hold on. Let me see. I was supposed to do something else here. Hold on me. Back to zero. How are you tonight?
I'm not too bad. How are you
I'm
and your
pretty good.
panels? Well,
I
that's
am
great. Great
pretty
to
good.
hear.
I'm glad to hear you are
All
doing
right.
well.
Nice. Thank you. All right. Well, what does self-love mean to me? Now, self-love to me, first of all, means knowing who you are. That's the first thing. And then ensuring that whatever you choose in every moment is loving yourself.
Okay. Loving yourself in every moment and whatever you choose is loving yourself. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can
Yes.
go down to
So
some of
knowing
these
yourself.
comments. Self-love means knowing yourself. Okay.
Yes, knowing yourself. So first of all, you need to know who you are, right? And then ensure that um whatever you choose on a daily basis in every moment, right? In every interaction, whether it be with, be friends, family, whatever it is, job, it's those actions are actually loving yourself.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna give you an opportunity to answer the follow-up question I had, which was why is self-love important?
Well, it's important because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? And I believe
Correct.
that once you practice self-love, then it will enable you to see how you can also share that with the world. But if you have this distorted sense of self and you're not loving yourself, then usually what happens is that you spew that same energy out. So when you take care of your, self first, then it will manifest in other areas of your life. And that will kind of weed out you hurting people and doing disservice to people as well. So it's for yourself first and then for others.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm gonna go to the comments right quick. I see that TT entered a comment
You're
saying,
welcome.
loving yourself is the fundamental foundation for being capable of having healthy relationships. That is definitely a great response. Deanne said to be whole and remain grounded in our own identity and not seek external validation, especially from men. There you go. That's it right there, because that external validation, oof, it's like when we seek external validation, we're asking other people to help complete us and to pour into us, at honestly a level that only we're going to be able to do that. You know, expecting someone else to complete us, like I personally do not like
when people have the conversation, they're looking for their better half. They're looking for someone to complete them, because honestly, you should be able to complete yourself, and you should be able to be a whole independent person on your own. And if you're going to engage in a relationship, the other person should be able to do the same. And as two people who are whole, healthy, and happy come together, then they can complement each other. But when you're dependent or codependent on another person, that has its own set of drawbacks, most times. All right, I'm trying to catch up on. Yes, Divine Isis, we have Pluto in Taurus, which is a supermoon. And if you ask our resident astrologer who is up on the panel, she will tell you that Taurus is in Aries because she practices sigil or 13 moon astrology. So it's a little different for her. Now we're going to go up to the box because Chris just joined us. So Chris, how are you tonight? Feel free to unmute. Thank you for joining the panel.
Hello, good evening, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What does self-love mean to you? And why is it important?
Self-love. Well, I'm not gonna I don't want to like reiterate some of the same things because a lot of the panel so far, you ladies, y'all killing it. I'm with you in terms of how we define self-love. But I would say a big personal one for me, on top of all of that, is I now take these moments when, and I believe somebody reiterated this kind of early about honoring yourself in terms of like things that you want to do and being comfortable with saying no and not having to people please so much. That's something I fought with for a long time. But I would say more so now, self-love for me is, being that advocate for myself when I wasn't before. I advocate for myself so hard now. When I say, me and my mama, me and her almost been beefing a couple of times, but it's all in the terms of protecting and that little girl that I had to kind of raise again for myself. So yeah, that's it for me right now. That's all I can kind of add on to it.
Well, thank you for that. I do want to say this. It is so important for women to really know what self-love is and have a true sense of that and actually putting this into practice in our lives, especially for Black women, because of the history and the things we've been through. FYI, ladies, we now have an extra box here. So if you would like to participate with the panel, please request up. But it's so important for us to practice self-love. And it is very important for us to engage with each other out of love. That does not mean that you have to always agree with what the other person is saying, because it is perfectly okay for us to agree to disagree with each other, but do it respectfully. Share the fact that regardless of whether you like this person's personality or not, show each other respect. We deal with a lot out here in the world, and to not give each other respect simply because we have different viewpoints and perspective is crazy. So I just wanted to bring that up while we're talking about this topic. And also I want to share a bit of a sensitive moment that I had because I made the prompt and the backdrop early. Let me see. I'm going to switch it to a different picture. This picture right here. So when I first made this backdrop, I was looking at this and put this one up because this one's probably better. And it says, women supporting other women. Welcome to the Self-Love Club, self-care, and I was playing this song by God, what is the name? What is this lady's name? The song is Glow Queen. And just the lyrics to that song, you know, hold on, I'm gonna see if I have to pull this up. But when I was listening to the lyrics to the song, it kind of made me tear up, because we don't often show each other love and show appreciation for each other. You know, for me in my day-to-day life, when I'm out and about running errands or what have you, and I run across another sister, I'm looking like, okay, you know, when the hair is looking nice, she's really feeling herself. You can tell she's confident and she's feeling good. You know, I make sure to take some time to say something positive. You know, like if I love the shoes, I compliment the shoes. Like, sis, those shoes though, the nails, the hair, you know, I really enjoy uplifting other women. And I find that sometimes some of us are uncomfortable saying positive things and pouring into each other. But it's so easy for us to be nasty to each other. It's so easy for us to put each other down, but yet it's hard for you to pay a compliment to somebody else. I find that so... It honestly, just thinking about how often we don't pour into each other, it just made me cry, because, you know, yeah, I was a little sensitive because I care about my sisters and all, but it's like, why don't we take more time to, you know, to appreciate each other? We have a lot that we deal with here on the daily. So I just want to have a little reminder out there for us to appreciate each other, you know, appreciate the things that your friends and your sisters, whether it's your blood sisters or whether it's the sisters you have by choice, you know, your tribe. Just take some time to appreciate each other and love on each other and do some nice things for each other here and there, because you really never know what people are going through. And sometimes it just takes somebody to be like, yo, I see you, I appreciate you. That will make somebody's day better. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move forward to number 2. And it says, what does self-care look like for you? Self-care looks like a lot of things for me personally. And thank y'all for the gifts that you are gifting to the panel and to myself. I greatly appreciate you. Also appreciate you continuing to like the live. We are at 20K. The next goal is going to be 30K. So, you know, we'll see it when we get there. But for me, what does self-care look like for you? Self-care looks like taking time to make sure I'm not caught up in just rushing, letting the days pass. You know, you get up, you go to work, you finish work, you come home, you cook, you clean, and then you go to sleep and do it all over again. Hey, Gio. Sometimes we get caught up in making sure that we do the things we need to do, but we don't put ourselves on that list of things that we need to do. And when I say that, I mean running ourselves a bubble bath, taking some time to have our favorite tea or our favorite fruit, or if it's something we really enjoy, just taking the time to do something that's going to remind us of how important we are to ourselves. You know, it's easy for us to buy somebody a gift for their birthday, or, you know, a holiday is coming up and you're doing all of these things for other people. What about you? You know, how about putting that favorite song of yours on, or if it's a certain, if there's a certain song that you like, certain types of music, a favorite meal you like to cook, a favorite place you like to go. Like for me, I love the beach. And so I try my best to get to the beach as often as I can, although I'm a little, you know, couple of weather related anomalies have happened recently that kept me away from my favorite thing, which is the beach. But whatever it is, find time to do those things for yourself that really make you feel good, so you're not just letting life pass you by. It could be the pedicure, the doing your hair, doing your nails, whatever it is that allows you to pamper yourself and make sure you make time for you. To me, those things are self-care. It could be a mask. It could be going to get a massage. But it also is making sure you make time to go to the doctor, go to the dentist. Sometimes we're so caught up with doing everything for other people that we don't take the time out to take care of us. And surely you're not going to be able to be there to do things for other people if you don't take care of yourself first. Sometimes we're an afterthought because we're taking care of kids and we are working hard. But sometimes you just need some time off. Sometimes it's important to schedule, like put in your schedule that you ain't doing shit today. Today is Saturday. I'm not doing nothing. I can't carry the weight for nobody else. I can't be there for nobody else. I can't, I can't do no overtime today. I don't feel like going to run errands today. I'm done. Because sometimes that's what's needed. So for me, those are the things as to what self-care looks like for me. Now, hopefully I didn't mention everything that y'all could have mentioned, because I'm sure y'all got some good ideas. So we're going to start at the top, even though Chris, you just answered. But since you are in the top spot, we're going to go ahead to you for number 2. So if you can answer for us number 2, what does self-care look like for you? And then we'll go to Empress next.
Oh, it's funny that you said the thing about like the taking care of your pedicure and your hair and stuff. I literally was on here just greasing my scalp. That is self-care for me, because my scalp. But I would say on a regular basis, something that I find to be self-care, and I try to do this as often as I can, is of course go ground. I try to ground.
Yes.
And teas are my best. I love tea. I don't know what it is, but I'm to the point now where you can give me that, screw giving me some alcohol, fix me some loose leaf tea, and let's get some incense going, and I'm there.
Yes, you brought up a really good point. For me, spiritual self-care is very important. You say grounding, and that immediately reminded me of that spiritual self-care, whether it is meditation, grounding, prayers, spiritual baths, whatever it is that helps you to make sure you got whatever that looks like for you. So thank you so much for sharing that. Empress, you are next. What does self-care look like for you, love?
Okay, so for me, a little bit of lot what you said, so I don't mind that you already said stuff like face masks and just treating yourself. But also self-care for me comes along with my spirit, because I realized that in my relationships when I was younger, romantic relationships when I was younger, that I needed a lot of like validation to know like they're still there with me and they still love me and all of that good stuff. So I have made it a practice to listen to like affirmational music, affirmational songs, speak affirmations over myself every day, like incantations. It's to the point now like they're literally so in me, and they work like a charm, so taking care of my spirit and making sure that even though people try to like hurt me or confuse me or just do something that throws me off my path, I have me at the end of the day to come to a safe space to be with. But also the physical, face masks, nails, doing my eyebrows and things of that nature. I enjoy doing those things and my hair, because hair is spiritual. So I don't really trust too many people to do my hair. So for me, doing my own hair is an honor and a privilege, because I get to just be with my own energy and incorporate that, speaking things into my hair and stuff like that. And I get compliments all the time. So self-care tip, spray some rose water in your hair and your face. It's a good toner, and it's also good for your hair. And spiritually, it will attract people that love your hair. You'll get people saying, I love your hair. It's so beautiful. But yes, anyway, so I'm going to stop there before I take anybody else's stuff away too. And
Thank you so much. I love the rose water tip. I love rose water on my skin, and I have some rose oil that from time to time I may put a little on my hands, and I'll just kind of rub my hands through my hair, and it just made me feel like I had I just felt queenly. I felt like royalty with roses, just coming out of my hair. I was like, you know what? I need to do this some more. I've done it with other fragrances and other oils, but that rose did something different though. That rose hit different. So thank you for reminding us of that. Tacos are spiritual. What's going on, boo?
So the fact that you guys are mentioning rose water, your girl used to sell the rose water. I'm getting back into that. And rose water has so many healing frequencies. It is actually the smell that triggers the feeling of love. It has one of the highest frequencies of all the flower essences. It is healing for the spirit as well as the skin. It's very high in vitamin C content. Like, I am a rose water connoisseur and advocate. So for me, self-love and self-care looks like, to me, I'm very multifaceted as a person. And as I got into self-care, I realized that I study human design. So human design lets me know that things that make me feel lit up from the belly up are things I should choose. So for me, self-care looks like anything that makes me light up from the belly up, I go towards it. That could be a snack, that could be taking a walk, that could be dancing, that could be watching a movie that I like. For me, self-care looks like honoring what my energy naturally wants. If my energy wants it and is lit up by it, then it's for me and it's something I should indulge in full-heartedly. That's what self-care looks like for me in total. And the one self-care practice I will share that I love doing, I call it mermaiding, which is basically I transform my bathroom into like a beach. So I put out my blue towel, I put out my essential oils, I fill the tub up, I add my I literally have like pigments that are good like for makeup and stuff. I'll add it to the water so the water can be shimmery. I put loads and loads and loads of flowers in there, chopped up fruit, all kinds of stuff. And I just be in there and I'll be in there for hours. I'll empty the tub out, add a different color water, and I'll mermaid. And I will do that until I am wrinkled and pruny. And it's the best feeling in the world for me and my go-to when I'm really like, I want to do something in the name of self-care exactly like right now. And my go-to is mermaiding.
Hey, Free. I heard you, and that sounds very, very mystical and divine. My only question or statement would be, I would much rather eat the fruit than to put the fruit in my bath.
Oh, there's some fruit on the side. Well, let me not tell no stories. It be whole meals on the side. I'll be in my bath. I'll clean the bathroom real good. It might be some pizza up in there with me. Like, it's a whole thing.
Okay. All right. So, but thank you for sharing. Listen, I love a good bubble bath, a good soak, throw on some nice music, get you some wine and just chillax. Might even pull up a book or listen to an audiobook or something, but it's something about my body being in water that just relaxes me and allows me to release whatever stressors I got going on, just makes you feel good. So that for me is definitely a really good self-care ritual, so to speak. Ashley Rose, what you got, babe, for number 2?
It's so funny. Like Empress, I was excited because no one had said mine. And then Tacos Are Spiritual said it because, yes, bubble baths are definitely my go-to. And like the name, I really love roses. So one of the ways that I show love to myself is by buying myself roses, making sure I have fresh roses in the house. I put that on the side of my bubble bath as well as candles. Same thing, perfume it up, sage it up. What's the Palo Santo sticks? Like those, I like the way they smell. The Palo Santo when it's burning, that's one of my favorite smells.
Okay.
So I like having that in there, while I'm having my bubble bath. And yeah, whether it's a audio book or whether it's one of my favorite TV shows, like something to entertain me so that I don't have to like actively use my brain for that 1 or 2 hours when I'm taking my bubble bath. And then another thing is I have insomnia, so I struggle to like sleep at night. And what's nice is if I do it later in the evening and I put my little lavender bath salt in there, it has an added component of being like a sleeping aid, and I come out and I go right to sleep, and I sleep like a little baby. Like I actually shouldn't do it on days where I actually have to wake up and go to work the next morning, because I will miss I will miss work. I'll be sleeping so good. So yeah, and also one thing too, I would say self-care for me, one of my new ways of self-care is budgeting. And I know it sounds silly, but like being mindful about my budget. I don't like being stressed about money, right? But finding like good, like frugal ways to still care for yourself. So one thing I started doing is like pedicures at home. So I have that like this little tub, and it gives you the massage, and it like does all the things, and I paint my little toenails and stuff like that. Whereas I used to go and pay whatever amount of money to get that done at a nail shop, and I was like, okay, I got a budget, but I still like making sure my toes are pretty. So like that's one of the ways too. It's like budgeting and finding affordable ways to still like do what you love. And I'll end there.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. And see, for me, because I'm a cosmetologist by trade, I can do all the things. I can do gel nails, I can do braids, I can do twists, I can do whatever. So I will admit I do save a lot of money now. Sometimes I'm tired and I don't feel like it. So if I'm looking to treat myself, the one thing I will do is go get my toes done. The hands and the hair, I got those. But it's something about getting a good foot massage, and I get the one with the hot stone massage. If I do that, it's not going to feel the same as it is if it's, it's not going to be as relaxing as if someone else does it. So periodically I will go pay for my pedicure, but that money that I'm spending, it's better used for other things. So I don't really spend a lot of money on beauty related things, because most of it I can do myself. So yes, you got a good point there, baby, because that budget is important. Let's see. You give great pedicures. What's your book look like, boo? I mean, where the opening at? Pedicures for energy release. Yes. Oh my gosh. So, hey, tacos, come off mute. Listen, the last time when I was in Cabo, I just saw your comment. I like to get the little fish foot bath.
Yeah.
Listen, I had that for the first time when I went to Cabo a couple years back. And actually a couple years, I don't know, 2 or 3 years back. That was the most weirdest thing.
I should have added laughter to my self-care, because that is definitely something I do and that gives me two like self-care in one. I can go get my feet taken care of. And I usually, I try to go early, because I've noticed that when I go when other people are there, I annoy them. Because when I say I be laughing, I be talking to the fish. I'm just having a good old time. And I look around, everybody else looks subtly annoyed. So I've learned
that's the interesting thing, that someone's laughter could annoy someone else. Dang,
people be miserable.
I mean,
So
that's
right.
what I was about to say. I would have to be in an extremely bad mood where hearing somebody's laughter.
I've experienced that too.
Yeah.
I've never got mad from hearing anybody laugh, but I've seen it happen. And the only thing I can think of is, damn, what's wrong with you? Like, so laughter, that's off the, we don't do that no more.
I see what Chris J just put. I am extremely ticklish. I can tickle myself. Usually if someone tries to tickle me, I will fight them. That's how ticklish I am.
Especially on those feet, baby.
But the fish, it's something about the fish, and I'm kind of spiritual, and without weirding everyone out, like I hear them and they are happy to do their job. And so for me, it's like nature doing nature. I'm laughing. It's a vibe. So, but because sometimes when I see the other people, it can trigger the people pleasing thing. So then I'll kind of try to shut up. And once I clock that's what I said. No, I won't change my behavior. I'll come when they first open or when they're about to close. And that's been how I do it.
All right. Yeah, and also Ashley Rose mentioned buying herself roses. It's nothing like having some beautiful flowers. And roses, I mean, there's a lot you can do with dried rose leaves. So you can never have too many roses. They smell good, they're pretty, they come in all types of colors. And roses are good for grounding. You know, there's a lot that you can use roses for. So I just want to put that out there. Okay, we are at Pia. Pia, what does self-care look like for you?
Okay, I'm sorry. I was a little snacking, but
No
self-care,
worries.
I'm sorry. Self-care to me has to be all of a mind, body, and soul, and I'll tell you why. Self-care to me has to be mind because how I know how to take care of my spirit is because my mind tells me, not my mind, but I have something called hearing and I have something called vision and dreams. For example, this thing about hair with Black women, as us Black women, and people saying, why is hair so important? It's just hair. And when I seen other groups say that, or people from other groups say that, I said, wow. my guardians, my spirit was told, it's not just hair for you guys because your hair defeats gravity.
There you go.
Gravity, the mass of gravity is 9.80665. We are 9 ether beings. Okay? The frequencies around us, the energy around us, we have so much of it that it makes our hair defeat gravity. Our hair is important to us, and our hairstyles are spiritual. Someone else said that on the panel, and that's 100% true. The hairstyles that you actually do, the shapes, the designs, the circles, the zigzags, that's actually called sacred geometry.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred geometry is actually codes, spiritual codes. So you're actually putting spiritual codes on your head. Black women have the possession of spiritual language without even knowing it. You're writing spiritual languages on your head. And those spiritual geometry sacred geometry that you're writing opens up the pineal gland. Black women are the most spiritual women on the planet without even knowing it. You're doing sacred spiritual geometry on each other's heads. And that's why it's preserved just for you guys, or not you guys, for us. Because it's part of us, our spirituality. It's part of our defeating of gravity. It's part of us being 9 ether. It's not for beings that are not 9 ether. So my thing is, my self-treatment, how it looks, is first I get the hearing of the spirit. It tells me what's going on to understand things, right? It helps me to understand all the things that we do as a group, the things we call our culture, right? When we do certain even dances, those dances that we're doing, when we're doing them correctly, is a form of meditation, of spiritual frequency gathering. It's also shaking off negativity. That's how our ancestors were surviving. They thought that they were just dancing. They were doing meditation, right? So
That's true.
Yeah, so it's very important for us to know and discover how we are different from everybody else, why we do the things that we do. I do for mine also the body chakra meditation, knowing the chakras, how chakras are supposed to be used in our life. It's not just chakra for example, my bed sheets right now are 100% cotton red sheets. For 28 days, because we know there's 13 months in the year and there's 28 days in each one. So for 28 days, I have red cotton sheets. So the frequency of cotton, we got to know the frequency of these materials, plus the red for the chakra. And so each month I change my sheets to open up and to help with my chakras for my mind, my body, and my soul. I do a lot of things, whatever I hear and whatever I'm being told from the higher spirits or what I need to do I also do grounding, but I took the sand home from the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So in the wintertime, I could still do my grounding. But also with the water frequencies, when you're doing the water, you like to take baths, that's because you're getting frequencies from the water. That's a washing away of negativity and things like that as well. So I understand all of it. And it's so like, wow, to be in this, to understand the spirit and understand what the spirit is telling you, and to understand the spirit is telling you things to help your body. The spirit is telling you things to help your mind. And that's when I started to learn, oh my gosh, I'm in sync. My mind, body, and soul is all in sync. I'm aligned as one. So I said, oh my goodness, I got to start sharing this with other people. So on my Sabbath day, which is a holy day, I'm told to share things with the younger generation to help them. So when I seen your thing and it said self-love and self-care, I said, oh, I know why I'm here. I know I was brought here. So I just want to thank you for, yes, I thank the Holy Spirit for putting that in your mind and your heart to actually do this live. I pray that everyone on this live, that their spirits will be enlightened, that they'll get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of their divine self and their higher selves, and they can align as one and with each other so we can become stronger, and the love will flow through all of us to where we become as one. I land my plane.
Thank you so much. You spoke several words. I'm starting to think that you were getting ready to write a book with the words you were speaking because you were on it. What I gathered and what came to me as you were speaking is that society separates us from ourselves because a lot of times we don't always have time to be in tune. And it's like you got to make time to be in tune. And we got elements all around us that help us be in tune. Like for me, I love lighting incense every morning. I love candles. I open my windows every morning when I light my incense so that new air can flow in and old air can flow out. So that incense is getting rid of negative or stale or bad energy and it's flowing back out of the house. There are certain things that I do, in certain areas of my house. I have a water altar, or not a water altar, but a water fountain. And I will turn that on and it allows the water to flow, and that's allowing the energy to flow. And depending on where I have that and the other things that are set up near it, it allows other things and other energies to flow into my life. For me, water is a big part of who I am because just getting in the bath or taking a shower, when I come into connection with water, it's like messages start to flow through me. And, our bodies are a huge percentage of our body is water. Same thing as to me being near, it was important for me to live near water. And just going to the beach, I don't even have to get in. I could just walk in, just feel and smell the beach air and I'm satisfied. But of course, if I put my feet in or I actually get in, just that communing with nature. And I mean, hug a tree, that's grounding. Putting your feet in the grass, that's grounding. We're literally connected to everything. And our current modern society tries to get us disconnected from things that are just so basic that will, when you're in tune and you're in connection with all of the elements that are around you, if something is to go down, you're going to get a little signal that kind of tells you, you know what? I think I want to go up so-and-so today, or I want to go here. And ironic, you may not be in a space where something would have happened and the other times you would have been there, but because you were in tune and something told you to go to a different location, you avoid, certain things. But it's that being in connection and in tune with yourself and in connection with our planet and the different elements that's it for me. To me, that right there is a big part of self-care. So you reminded me to speak on that with what you were saying. And the other note I took from what you were saying is that hair is spiritual, and the different patterns that we use in braiding our hair and twisting our hair and all of that, it is sacred geometry. The other thing I want to mention is, as a cosmetologist, although I do not operate in that profession anymore, the thing that was very important to me is Hey Kai, And hey, Udra, I saw you earlier, didn't get a chance to speak, so let me take a moment to say hey, y'all. I see Nikki in the comments. Hey, Nikki. But as I was saying, it's very important to be aware of who you have doing your hair. That person is hanging over your crown chakra. They are handling your tresses, your sacred coils. It is very important to make sure that if you are going to someone to take care of your hair, that they know how important of a role that is, because it's a lot more than just doing your hair. So I'm gonna say that, because I mean, I know for years people will come sit in my chair, and that person that's doing your hair, you tend to tell them all your business.
Yeah,
because they're working on your head. Go ahead, Pia.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to. It's not really questions. Want to go on that? What you were just saying right now. Be careful. Be careful of who is working on your head. You guys know what a Reiki, what is it? Reiki is or
Reiki.
Reiki. Yeah, that's like equivalent to someone doing your hair. As far as the title, as far as what it, if they don't know the spiritual meanings behind these geometry, or if their intentions are negative, they can put it on you without them even knowing. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose, but that's why it is so important to know who you're getting your hair from. But I think with this conversation, it's going to spread what I said, and that's good. That's the whole point. We're doing sacred geometry. So now what it is as black women being the holders, the key holders of these sacred geometries, can learn sacred geometry and start using it in the correct way, the spiritual way. So now when we get our hair done, it won't just be because we've been wiped out. Our brains have been wiped out from what we're doing, what it really means, but we can get back into it. So when we're doing hairstyles, we can be putting, basically these hairstyles are like blessings. You're putting blessings on people's head with this geometry. We're just doing it without knowing it. But we don't want it to be. Yeah. So that's all I want to just add on to what you were saying. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for adding that. That is good information. Good way of seeing things, because that's exactly what's happening. All right. So Bella, it is your turn for number 2. What does self-care look like for you?
Self-care for me is low and sultry lights with a smooth beat with a deep vibration on it, while immersed in warm water with very spicy oud-like scents going.
When you throw that scent in there, you know that's my thing. You know that's my thing, girl.
And the right type of wine being slowly sipped as you're there listening to the beat, with the scents in that warm bath in that low light. That's what self-care looks like for me. Or
so pretty
when
much
I'm given
she said
space to sit
she
with
got the
self.
red light district going, is what she just said.
Purple, honey.
I'm being sarcastic. It can be purple lights, but the red light district is the part I was referring to with the setup. But yes.
And when you come out and you're dried and you have warm oil that is scented, and being and slathering yourself from neck to the bottom of your feet with that oil.
Man, it's something about that moisturizing factor with a really nice fragrance. Listen.
All right, Empress. You enjoy your evening, sugar. Yeah.
Thanks for swinging by, Empress.
Yeah. And here's the thing. That's that wind down method. When, that's that wind down, because you've been running on all cylinders. And once you can get that opportunity to go ahead and let some of that steam loose, where that chugga chugga on the track comes to a halt, yeah, that'll do it for you.
Chugga chugga.
You know how that train goes chugga 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 chugga. You're just constantly moving.
No apology needed. Hey, Stormy.
Hey. Yeah, you get it. When you're constantly on that grind. You know, you're holding not only your own world together, but the worlds of others together. Now we have the capability to, you know, and pull back and say, this is all me now. Y'all go do it.
Well,
that's what self-care looks like.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for you sharing what self-care looks like for you in the Purple Light District. The Purple Light Special with the slow music and the slathering of oils on and things. Okay. The wine and the sultry music. Okay, Bella. We see you. All right, back to Zero. If you could share with us your thoughts on what this self-care look like for you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, for me, self-care is literally just getting somebody else to do it. Like, I'm done being a workhorse. I'm not trying to kill myself anymore. Taking care of everyone else, right? I am getting someone else to do it. So for laundry, just taking care of the home. That's what I'm doing these days. Self-care, I like to have those private appointments because I just don't like the salon and, the waiting and, all of that jazz. So I just like to, get those people that can come to my house, or there are some providers here that you can go to their home, or they have like a salon or a shop they're the only ones there. So those are the people that I seek out so that I can kind of have, my peace of mind. I don't know if this next one is called cosplay, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I did a past life regression, and something came up in probably the 50s or 60s, and I really like the style of dressing there. And I find myself buying like those what do you call those little dress? Oh my gosh. Those nice floral dress.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Yeah. Bella? The 50 style dresses that we rocked in that day. Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of along the Betty Page pinup girl style.
Oh, yeah, but I'm trying to figure out why you said that we rocked in that day like you were born in the 50s. Girl, stop playing. Why you be playing in our face trying to act like you 70-something over here? 80-something. I mean, come on. Why, Bella, stop. That we rocked in our day.
It's reincarnation.
It's confirmation of where we have existed. You know what I'm saying? It's confirmation that we have existed everywhere.
All right.
And we did it the best everywhere that we were.
Well,
yes, that's true. Well, look at Bella's picture. It is black and white. So I believe you, Bella. If you feel like that's when your time was, then do it.
So I didn't see that.
Beautiful. I love it.
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, that is what I do. So I love, especially on a Sunday, I like to dress up, and I don't have to be going anywhere. I just do it all. Like the hair needs to be in place, nails are done, everything. And I like to have like some sort of fancy meal. My mommy and aunts used to have I don't know what it's called in the US, but in Jamaica we call it whatnot or buffet or something like that, where they keep the nice glass and the nice Chinaware and so on in there for whatever reason. I don't know, they never use them. What I do, I make it a point of duty wherever I see those nice plates and the nice wine glass and whatever is nice to set up a table, I'm getting it, right? I'm getting the nice table, I'm getting everything. And I use them. I'm not sitting on them. And again, just being by, there's something about being by myself, doing certain things that's just really nice. Sometimes I do include my family, but they know that I like the alone time and I just enjoy my meal. Another very important thing that that I've been doing, and it's progressing, is to ensure that I have that financial freedom, right? Because I need time. I can't be like working all the time. I need time to enjoy myself, right? And to enjoy my money. So I'm, slowly setting things up so that I can have that. And again, I guess I'm about 75% there, but that's really important to me to have that peace of mind. Another thing I'm doing for self-care is going against the grain and believing that little voice. I call her the silent whisperer that is guiding me. I'm a divine feminine and I'm being guided. And a part of that is, slowing the noise. That means not participating in certain things on social media. These are the type of lives that I get myself involved in. If I hear it getting too toxic, I don't want that, because, I'm able to watch my energy now and I can feel when something is not right. And as soon as I get that little hunch, I'm gone. I'm not doing that anymore. And it has really done something for me, and I continue to do that. Another thing I'm doing for self-care is to cut off like narcissistic family members, friends,
Girl.
co-workers, all of that thing. So I'm done with them. I'm not gonna, be the scapegoat for them anymore. I'm choosing not to do that anymore. Where it comes on to men, I know what I want, so I'm sticking to that and I'm not entertaining anything else. And I don't react to their gaslighting anymore. So, sometimes these men try to con you and tell you and convince you that, you want too much or whatever. I'm giving myself the things I actually want, and I'm not looking for someone to, play the codependency thing with. So I'm not looking to rely on you. I'm looking to coexist with you, if that's what you're looking for as well. So I am just saying no. I'm saying no, 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 all around, top and bottom. Back to the family members. I used to think I had some sort of responsibility to keep things together. And now I'm like, screw all of you. Screw all of you. I'm not the crazy one. Y'all are. I'm giving myself that grace now that I never gave myself years ago, because I thought that I somehow was part of the problem for people can't keeping it together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just done with that, with all of that, and I'm just at peace. I am doing the quirky little things that I like right now. So, I was shamed a lot as a child for using my voice in a weird way. I usually I don't know, I think that's, what is that called? No, I see other people doing it, light language type of sound. So sometimes I'm just in the shower or somewhere and I just, oh, and I don't care who wants to hear it anymore. I'm just doing that thing for myself because it makes me feel so good. It really makes me feel good. Another thing is I'm putting myself out there more. I know that I have a lot to offer this world, and I am not putting myself in the back burner or worrying about what others are thinking about me. I have released all of that negativity from the world. I have released society's expectations of me as a woman and also as a Black woman. So, they want to tell you that you need to be breeding. I don't want to breed. I have one and I'm done. I don't want anyone asking me, when are you going to go for the girl? I don't want it. Or my son is now 18. If I wanted the girl, I would have gone for that already. You know what I'm saying? I'm also not engaging in conversations that I don't want anymore. If you make me uncomfortable, then I'm going to politely decline and move away from that conversation. I'm just not
There you go.
participating in things that makes me feel bad. And I will land with that.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with us, because that's definitely all a part of self-care. Self-care is a lot more than just how we pamper ourselves and treat ourselves day to day. It's also the decisions we make. And that also falls back into number 1. So we're going to go back up the top and we're going to go with number 3. And it's just a question. Is having boundaries a part of self-love? And if so, how? Chris?
Having boundaries is absolutely a part of self-love. How
my
it's
divinity.
a part of? You said what now?
Oh, I was speaking to someone that just came into the comments. My divinity.
Oh,
Go ahead, love.
Sorry about that. I had to. Yeah, I'm smoking a little bit too, so don't mind me. But
I'm jealous.
Look, my cycle just came on, so hey.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, baby.
That's right. All natural pain relief over here. But
There you go.
I mean, in terms of having like you have to have boundaries. If you don't, then I mean, essentially, you're setting yourself up to just be walked all over by any and everybody. I mean, if you have no boundaries, then that just means that, everybody else is making the decisions for you in terms of what self-love looks like. And no, I make that decision. So no, you got to have boundaries. Have to.
Yeah, y'all done touched and tap danced all over my bonus question, which ain't on the screen, but that's okay. When we put it on the screen, we gonna go back on it. But absolutely everything you said, everything. Boundaries is absolutely a part of self-love. Yeah. So tacos, what do you have to say in reference to number 3? Is having boundaries a part of self-love? And if so, why? If it isn't, why not?
Yes, it is. And that was a defining awareness for me. I went no contact with my mother when I turned 40. And something about that act made it so much easier to place boundaries in a lot of other places in my life. And since then, it's just been a matter of rinse and repeat. Without boundaries, as Chris put it, like you're just leaving all of your wares, as they say, out in the open for anyone to touch all over them, use them up, discard them, play with them at their will, at their disposal. And I say the hell with that. Shop at my TikTok store, but just like I just yes.
I don't think they mind you saying hell.
Okay, but yeah, boundaries.
They just don't want you saying things like smabortion or grape. So hell is fine to say, but we can't say the actual things that also otherwise occur. But we can still refer to a place that doesn't exist. Continue.
Okay, right. So to me, if you do not exercise boundaries, you haven't even begun to tap what is self-love. And I will land my jet right there.
That was a quick flight. But we do appreciate flying on Tacos, our spiritual airline.
Yes, private.
Private. Ashley Rose, is having boundaries a part of self-love? And if so, why is it?
Yeah, I definitely believe that having boundaries, I'm playing, that's an inside joke. But,
That's an inside joke.
I think that absolutely it is. Only because without boundaries, like you don't have clarity. You know what I mean? Like I take my boundaries so far that I have boundaries with people who don't have boundaries. So if someone is coming to me and saying, oh, I'm being mistreated by this person that's not like a necessary entity in their life. And it's like, okay, well, have you removed access? Well, no, because I'm so loving. Ooh, you like boundaries. I don't know about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's just so important because it creates a level of clarity
that allows us to navigate the lives that we're looking to create for ourselves. So like, back to Zero was saying, creating financial security for herself. Like the only way to, and financial freedom for herself, the only way to do things like that is to know exactly where you want to put your time and energy and not let somebody come in and violate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, it takes boundaries to actually move your life forward because you know where you want to spend your attention, you know where you want to spend your time, your energy, and you're purposeful and you're intentional about that. And even when people don't mean to, if they try to step over those boundaries, you can kindly and gently kind of put them back in their place because you know exactly what your priorities are and you're not being mean, you're being loving to yourself. So I land there.
Absolutely. Listen, boundaries are so important. Boundaries is important. They are important, and they're even more important when you notice that you have people around you that don't know what boundaries are. Your boundaries become very important because people that do not know what boundaries are, that do not, that don't enforce their own boundaries, they think they can just stumble all over your stuff. Let me give you an example. Okay, Tara, stick to the facts. Don't go into details. Anyway, so as I said, I'm a cosmetologist by trade. Back in my home state where I used to live, I had converted a 800 square foot garage into a salon. And as such, when I wasn't working full time, I would do hair. And but it's attached to my home. So there are boundaries, meaning you got an appointment time. If you do not reschedule your appointment, you had a 10 to 15 minute window to get there by your appointed time. If you did not get there and you were the only person on my books, then you had to reschedule. So I had somebody contact me and she was like, oh, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I was like, okay, cool. Just understand if you get here after 15 minutes, you will need to reschedule. 20 something minutes passed. She still didn't get there. I done turned the lights off. I done powered everything down. I done cleaned up. I done went back in my house. 30 to 45 minutes later, she's not only knocking on the door where the entrance to the salon is, she's now come back around to my private entrance, ringing the doorbell and everything. And I had already sent her a text saying, so we're closed. Let me know when you want to reschedule. She decided to come back anyway. And she had, you bypassed the boundary of me verbally communicating it to you. You then came and continued to ring the doorbell where the salon is. Then you also came around to my personal private time. Like, my schedule don't matter, but let me be clear why she did this. She was in a relationship with someone that didn't respect her, didn't value her, and didn't appreciate her time. So because she was allowing this man to do that, she thought it was okay to do that with me. And while I love you and I understand, because me and her mom were cool, a lot of people that I did their hair, you develop a long-standing relationship with these people. However, my boundaries are my boundaries. So it doesn't matter to me that you let somebody else do this to you in your life. In my life, this is how it goes. So since you don't know what boundaries are, let me help you figure it out. So I did not answer the door. And I do believe that might have been the last time I did her hair. Only because if I can't count on you to come at your appointment time and you think your emergency or your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency on my part, you know, you could have just rescheduled. And the same thing with my loving sister, my loving sister that never paid to get her hair done. Y'all know how family are sometimes. Now, it wasn't both of my sisters that was like that, but this particular one, shouts out if you listening, but I know you don't know nothing about TikTok, so, you know, it's whatever. But she got upset one day because I rescheduled her appointment. And I was like, hey, I got another client that needs to come in. Well, that's my time. That's my time. I was like, sweetie, this is a paying client. And so while you do normally come in on Saturdays at this time, I'm letting you know ahead of time, this time we're going to move it. So you want to come earlier or you want to come late? And she got an attitude about it. That was also my last time doing her hair. I don't give a fuck who you are. My boundaries is my boundaries. Okay, story time over. Pia, how are you feeling in terms of, is having boundaries a part of self-love?
Let me check my feelings real quick. I was like, right? Well, I feel like this. Boundaries, if you don't have them, you don't know who you are. If you don't have boundaries, you don't understand who you are. If you don't have boundaries, you don't love yourself. Basically, you're not protecting yourself. So if you don't protect yourself, because protection is love, we know that. So if you don't protect yourself, you don't care about yourself. There you go. I'm done. It's simple.
Yeah, it is very simple. And I don't think a lot of women understand that. And I think the reason why a lot of women don't get that is because in our cultures, especially when it comes to, hey, Ash, hey, Authentic, hey, Boo. When it comes to women, whether it's religion or societal norms, because we live in a patriarchy, it's like we're expected to just take kind of what we're given, and we're told to conduct ourselves in a certain way and to be warm and welcoming to men specifically. So sometimes when we have to assert ourselves and put those boundaries down, we're looked at like, what you mean? What is this? Just like men will tell you that they're not going to do something and then actually don't do it, why you can't assert your own boundary and let it be clear that you're not going to do certain things or that you've had enough. Especially boundaries also apply to jobs. Because if your job description says ABC 1, 2, 3, and they asking you to do DEF 4, 5, and 6, excuse me, I will be happy to do this if I had the bandwidth, number one, and two, if you gonna pay me to do these extra. Because last time I checked, my contractual employment was based on doing these particular duties. And so while I'll be happy to do those for you, let's first discuss the pay increase or the what you gonna pay me for this? Because surely I'm not here because I don't have anything better to do. I'm here to earn a check and earn a living just like you are. So stop playing with me. And of course you can find a professional way to say that. But a lot of times women specifically are scared sometimes to advocate for themselves in a workspace. And the truth of the matter is they expected to pay you for what you were bringing to the table. So being that you are the table and the resources at the table, why don't you ask for what your worth is? Why don't you make it known? Go ahead, hon.
When you're done, I was gonna ask to piggyback off what you're saying real quick. After you're done.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say that, cause you brought up with Black women as us people, they expect us to do certain things, but what it is too is people expect Black women particularly to not have boundaries. People don't want Black women to have boundaries, and when we do, they say they got an attitude. They twist our boundaries,
and you don't know your place.
Yeah, they twist the boundaries.
You should be lucky to have this job.
Yeah. When you're not being used, when you won't let a man use you. Oh, she has an attitude. I don't want to be with them. I'm gonna go with somebody else because she got an attitude. No, you done cheated on her so many times that she's gonna have an attitude now because she can't trust you. But to them, it's an attitude instead of you have boundaries.
Well, so I didn't love her. I just had sex with her. What's the problem?
Yeah, and that's a thing that you know what's so funny?
It's comical because I have to laugh at it. You know why? I mean, I don't love her. I love you, baby. I'm here with you. That was just a fling. I just needed a little something. I was weak. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again, even though this is the 6th time.
Yeah. You know what I heard spiritually, and I see, this is in the world. Let's say, okay, black women have attitudes, and guys saying, well, black women, when they have a relationship, they get really mad and they'll bust your window such a tire. I don't do stuff like that. I'm not, that's something different. But there are other women don't do all that, this and that. And I, heard from, the universe spirit, telling me, because I was wondering, like, why are black women getting so mad? It's because when a black woman lays down with someone, it means something different. The other females can lay down with males and say, okay, I that was just sex. To a black woman, something different. And it feels different to her. It's emotionally different. It's mentally different. It's spiritually different, because black women spiritually are more sensitive. Okay. So with black women, when they lay down with someone, or someone lays down with them, because they're so spiritual, you can be taken away from somebody spiritually when you lay down with them. They're spiritual soul ties, right? If you lay down with a woman and she's not even spiritual, it's nothing to her. But you lay down a woman that is spiritual, that can take from her. She can feel like you took from her more than just emotions. It could be spiritual draining, right? So that's what my spirit's telling me. Black women are more sensitive to certain things because we are more sensitive than any other woman. We are more feminine than any other woman. That's why we do our hair in certain ways that shows our femininity. That's why we do dress a certain way to show our femininity. That's why our bodies are shaped a different way. We're more feminine. That's why you see a lot of men from the LGBTQT community. Whenever they are in these communities, you see they always mimic a black woman because they know that black women are the most feminine, divine. So that's what I'm saying. They expect black women to have the least boundaries, but black women have the most boundaries. And when the boundaries are overtaken or the boundaries are disrespected, someone disrespects, that's why she has an attitude. So that's what I just want to add into there.
Yeah, absolutely. See, the boundaries that we enforce is something else. I think Bruno Mars said it best. You get locked out of heaven. And I'm not just talking about the heaven between our legs. We literally, once we cut you off and lay that law down, you done for. And all I gotta say is, if men think that black women require too much, we're going where you want it then.
Well, but that's easier. They want it easier because black women, I've heard from other men from other races, black women love the hardest. When a black woman really loves you, they really love you. Like, they'll have your back. That's why you'll see out of all the races, when it comes down to their men fighting and stuff, black women will fight with their men. Black women fight for their men. That's how hard.
Yeah, that's
love.
yeah.
I'm not saying they should. I don't participate in it.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that you were saying that she should. I was about to clarify that we should not. I wasn't saying you was saying that at all, because if we mean all of this and we are this level of value, then why am I fighting with you to keep you? Sir, you should be understanding what I am, and you should be the person trying to be kept, not me.
Yep. Yes, I agree.
And because we don't truly understand our value, we're begging. And when I say we, I'm talking about the collective we. We're begging for relationships and begging to be picked with men and begging for things when, in all honesty, if you know who you are, if you have mastered yourself, you've done your inner work. After you do that level of work, you are not going to beg anybody to be a part of anything, because you have dug down in the depths of your soul. You have literally gotten it from the mud. You have done your work. You have healed from your traumas. What do you look like asking or begging somebody who don't qualify for the job to do anything for you?
It's not even worthy. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Right.
You're 100% correct. Black women, I know my worth, but black women as a collective, we do not know our worth. We do not. I mean, mind, body, and soul. Like, literally, black women physically are the most valuable women on the planet. Your DNA creates the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Shaqs. Your DNA produces that melanin that protects you from the sun and gives your body all this more energy. It's just I don't understand how sometimes when I see black women that are acting desperate to be with the man, it's like you have the best DNA on the planet, and these other men from other races, they know it. They have to go along with their group, but they know that you're the most valuable woman on the planet. That's why they created all these surgeries so their women can look like black women. Why are you creating big lips and big butts and darkening serums for the skin and tanning? You know the black woman's the most valuable woman on the planet.
All the while they have told black women that the standard for beauty was the opposite of what she is.
Yeah, it's a brainwashing. It's a trick.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a trick. And that's why the women copy black women. I had to tell my cousin who was dating out his race, which is, it's his thing. None of my, do what you got to do. And I can't say anything because my husband is white, but there's a difference. He was downing black women and saying, oh, these other women are better than black women. I said, how does that make any sense when you want us to teach her how to be like us? I'm not going and asking how to cook their food. I don't want to learn how to cook tuna casserole, but she does want to learn how to cook greens, fried chicken, potato salad, sweet potato, yams, and cornbread. Okay. And she does want to learn how to twerk and how to dance like us. And she does want to dress like us and get her hair in braids. So I know who's more valuable. She's coming to our race because she doesn't have a culture. She's not a woman. She's a little girl. I don't have to be told how to do my hair. I have it instinctively knowing how to do my hair, or my mother figure, or my aunt raised me, taught me how to do it, or I can see her doing it and just mimic it. So I already know the value of being a black woman. So that's why when I see other black women begging to be with guys, and I'm like, this must mean they don't know their value. You're the most valuable woman on the planet. They created surgeries after you. What are you doing? So that's why I said, oh yeah, as a collective, they don't know it, but they are learning. They are definitely learning. But yeah, it's so sad that everyone wants black women to have the lowest boundaries, but that's only because black women don't know their value.
Yeah, collectively we do not, but I am happy that we have platforms such as this that have these conversations, and really are focused on women doing their own personal self-development and self-mastery, because it is through these things that we can get to know ourselves on a better level, With that being said, I will take this opportunity to tell everybody to click on my profile and go to the link in my bio. The very first thing in the link in my bio is my Patreon. You can sign up for free $99. I will be getting to a point where I start doing monthly calls off of TikTok, because there are some things that we need to discuss off of the app without our words being skewed and things like that. So if that is something that you're interested in, sign up. And I do occasionally share information out there to the free members. And of course, if you're interested in a membership, take a look at it. But sign up is free. So I will say that there. Also, just to let y'all know, I have a business called Pure Alchemy. I love smell goods and pretty things. And so I make eco-friendly candles. Everything is custom curated, all of that good stuff, eco-friendly, everything. So the links are all in my bio if you are interested in anything like that. We're gonna go to Bella. Bella, number 3, is boundaries part of self-love? And if so, how?
Boundaries is paramount. Absolutely, positively, definitely.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Okay.
Self-love, because a lot of us don't realize that we teach people how to treat us.
Absolutely.
So if we don't have that force field or that fortress of solitude up, then any and everything and everybody will try to run roughshod over you. And then here's the thing. We ain't got to apologize for the truth. If they cannot respect or do not like the boundary that you have put up to maintain your peace of mind, then they wasn't rocking with you in the first place.
Thanks.
You know, and boundaries come to those who began to vibrate on a higher frequency. So you ain't fixing to let anything not vibrating where you are. It's not going to be able to sit next to you anyway. It just ain't.
Ash, I'm sorry. Were you I didn't want to talk over you. Continue.
All I'm going to say, and I'm sitting up here, processing this for just a minute, because let's keep it a lean bean here. When you vibrating on a higher frequency, you already done created a force field around you that cannot be penetrated unless you invite someone in, or if they are vibrating right there with you, then you will basically come together on some stuff. Other than that, no, fuck that. Hell to the no.
Hell to the no. So Ash put something in here. I want to scroll back up to her comment because it was chef's kiss. And it was something we've pretty much been saying. You can't practice self-love without boundaries. Like you just can't. If you do not know how to tell somebody, excuse me, you don't belong here in this space, you are not practicing self-love. Let's see. I think there was another comment here. High vibration and low vibration are two different frequencies. Absolutely. And Stormy said straight with no chaser. Okay. So back to zero. Is having boundaries a part of self-love?
Yeah, absolutely. Part of loving yourself is having respect for yourself, and having boundaries and also establishing boundaries is what creates that level of respect. And what I wanted to add to this question is that I'm noticing that many people lack boundaries because they're still holding on to the societal construct that was created for us. Well, not even for us, for the system and the feeders of that system, because I don't know if people realize, but this is an energy farm, right? There are creatures here that's sucking our energy. And if you look at people-pleasing behavior and people-pleasing energy,
so you just gonna take thoughts out of my mind.
Zero boundaries.
You gonna just reach into my mind and take the words that was in my mind out of my. Okay, back to zero. I see what you're doing. I literally thought about that as I read a comment, and she went in, grabbed it out, and spoke it. Okay, I see you. All right, go ahead, sis. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people pleasers, or all of them, they lack that boundary. I don't even think they know what it is, or even have ever had any discussion about it. And what happens is that all they're doing is a disservice to themselves. I had a couple of colleagues, well, I can't call them friends, associates, that just dropped me. And I know that they were going to drop me because I really don't care at this point. My boundaries are very high. Now, they were complainers and they complained about their situation a lot. And they're always saying, why is this keep on happening to me? Why? And I'm saying, hey, you're the common denominator in this. Why do you keep allowing this to happen to you? And I had to say, it was two different conversations I had with these ladies, but it's pretty much the same thing I'm saying to them, that slow down, take some time to slow down, journal out the situations that happen to you, and see what is the common theme here. It's a thing, for example, they allow men to make them feel compelled to engage in activities that they know that they don't want to engage in. And the boundaries that they don't have there in those situations is protecting their womb, right? You can't complain about getting itching and all of that thing when you're not exercising boundary for yourself, hence practicing self-love. You don't know these men from anywhere. You don't know how, what they're using their ding-a-ling, how many things they're putting it in, whether it's men or women. You don't know what they're doing. You don't have any boundary set up to say, okay, then I have a time frame. Of course, you can have someone for years and not know them until you know them, right? But you are jumping because you want to please society to say, I have a man. So you are doing yourself a disservice by running into relationships and you don't even know what you want, honey. Right? So what you get, these men and vampires can smell you and they know what you are about and they want to drain you. You know what I'm saying? They don't love you. You don't even know what that is. So you keep on hurting yourself over and over and over and over and over again because you let these creatures come and take from you because you don't know who you are, and hence you don't know what boundaries to set up. Like, as soon as a man comes to me, first of all, if you ask me what I do for a living, I'm gone. Because you're trying to measure me up now to either see what level of respect you want to give to me or how you should treat me based on that. And you're not going to do that because I'm not reduced to flesh or profession, right? So boundaries are like, there is no self-love without, it doesn't make any sense. Like, both of them are hand in hand. If self-love is out of the window if the boundaries are not there. And then land there with that.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much, because you spoke a word. You spoke lots of words. As I said earlier, y'all are hitting the nail on the head with this. And the reason why this is so important is because, I did not know. I knew things were, this is going to sound, I don't care how I sound. I'm not going to care how I sound. I knew things were bad with how women were being treated. And I knew that women had some form of accountability and responsibility in it, right? However, I didn't know that we were accepting, I didn't know the bar was below hell when it came to women accepting certain things from men and their requirements and boundaries. Like, just listening to some of these lives and hearing a lot of the pick me behavior and things that women are allowing men to do, and then they're getting upset at the behavior of men, when if you continue to allow fuckery to happen, why would you expect it to stop when they've been getting away with certain things for this long? Like, come on. And the same thing applies to jobs and things like that. So I'm going to get into this bonus question because we done tap danced around it a little bit. And once we finish with the bonus question, we going to all answer that. And then we go close out and we go have a good night. Because I ain't going to be on here with y'all for 5 hours tonight. I'm still getting my voice back. I love y'all, but I got to let the voice come back all the way. Anyway, so the bonus question here is, when is the last time you said no to someone you care about? And I'm going to put a caveat in there. It could be someone you care about, or no when it came to something you cared about. Because in my particular scenario, hell, I could give you 2 examples, but I'm going to give you the first one that came to mind for me to answer this question. It was something I cared about, and that something was my salary. Okay. Meaning it was something that could have impacted my job negatively, and I needed to advocate for myself. So recently there is some restructuring that was happening with my company, and it would have resulted in me reporting back to a past uh, director that I don't have the best history with. And I was like, hell to the no, like this ain't we who going there? We ain't doing that. I left that team for a reason to come over here what I'm doing. So I had to talk to my boss, who is a director. I had to talk to her boss and have a conversation with him. And I had to plan out how I was gonna say it. And when it came down to that point, I asked him, so who am I going to be reporting to? And he said, well, technically, you're supposed to be reporting to this person. And I waited a couple seconds and I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. And I saw him shuffle his shoulders a little bit. And I had to go in and say, my therapist can tell you that's not going to work. My primary care doctor can tell you that's not going to work. The 2 HR complaints that I lodged on this person can tell you that's not going to work. And just in case you don't want to go to HR to ask them, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. And I went through what happened with my discrimination complaint and my harassment complaint on this particular one. And the fact that I had to also submit a second complaint for retaliation, because after I spoke up on what this person did, which I wasn't the first person he had done it to, but I was the first person that put it in writing and put it on paper. And I did it for a reason, because I saw what was happening to me, but I also saw what he was doing to other people, and everybody else was too afraid to say something. And I was like, well, if y'all gonna fire me, I'm gonna get a good ass lawyer. So what you want to do? I'm not inviting that to happen, but I just went ahead and said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and go through this. So when that situation came back, kind of tapping at my door, I was like, all right, universe, what you trying to say? Are you trying to test me? And it literally could have been a scenario where it was, if I didn't handle myself correctly, I would have been reporting to somebody that would have been a tyrant for me, or I could have taken the approach of knowing how to speak up for myself, how to advocate, and how to articulate it in a way that made it very clear, well, no, we not gonna do that. That's not good, and this is why. And before we got to that point in the conversation, I strategically, because he was new to his role, and he said, well, how long have you been at the company? I strategically reminded him, not only have I been at this company 8 years, I have 24 years in this industry. And I pretty much gave him a rundown of my resume real quick to let him know, yeah, we going through a merger, but I've been already through 4 mergers with other companies that are, whatever. So it's like, when you advocate for yourself in a scenario like that, sometimes you got to tell him no. If Diddy want to party with you, you got to tell him no. Okay, so that's pretty much it.
That was hilarious. Diddy want to fight. Wow. Yeah, that was cute.
And I mean, it resulted in him pretty much saying, you know what, we want to retain you. We're interested in retaining you. So if we know that doesn't work, we're not going to do that. If you like where you're at, we're going to keep you there, and let's figure out how we can work that. And I was like, okay, sir. Okay. But you got to sometimes be willing to step out there and just be like, yeah, no, that's not,
Mahogany, aka Veronica. Sorry.
Oh, I'm definitely Veronica in the workplace. I'm definitely Veronica. I'm not doing no overtime.
If you know, you know.
Listen. Listen.
Y'all just look up Veronica in the workplace on YouTube, TikTok, and there go Mahogany.
No, she's everything. I love me some Veronica.
Veronica be like, look, like she said, go on YouTube and type in Veronica in the workplace. Actually, some of her videos are here on TikTok too. Listen, if y'all need to learn how to advocate for yourself at work and tell your boss that, yeah, I would love to do this for you. When are we going to discuss the overtime? Oh, I was just thinking that you were thinking. See, on my free time, I go do what I want to do. And if you want me in here, that means you're going to pay me, right? So what's the, so you don't want me in here. Listen, Veronica, she be on it. She be on it. She be on it. And HR definitely hates me, and I don't give a fuck. Because when I talk to them, I phrase it in such phrases like, well, for the company benefit, it's beneficial for me to be a great business partner and to make sure that we meet our metrics and deliverables. You got to know how to speak to them, and you have to keep
emotions out of it, because if you start crying and you get all emotional, there,
Okay, you ain't got
gotta
to
know
yell at
how
me
to use
now.
certain words.
That's why I'm not in corporate America. You ain't got to tell my business. I stay in the creative, artistic realm, but sometimes I do come across corporate people, and that's why I'm glad you're my friend.
Well, there you go. You use your resources. With that being said, I'll digress. And I'm going to ask you, since you talking, when is the last time you said no to someone you care about, or something that really mattered to you that could have changed the trajectory of things for you?
I'm clearing my throat and
Let
grounding
me clear my
myself
throat.
because coming, like, you know how they say you don't look like what you've come through?
Yeah.
So for me, let me just own what I'm about to say and feel it and just feel so beautiful. It is now a practice of mine to do that specifically at least once a day. I'll put it this way: he's not a morning person, so I prefer to get it in the morning. And I just love that feeling of telling someone that there's a mutual care with, but in my own self-interest, no, emphatically. And it just I'm smiling right now because that's like long time coming for me. And now that I'm on that wave, I just love it. And if I may add, my 18-year-old daughter, she's a knower. She's been a knower her whole life since she was a baby. She would be like, I'd be like, you want some food? She'd be like, no, but her hand is out. No is her everything. And now that she's 18, my Aries baby, like, I'll ask her, I'm like, hey, you got these snacks? Can I get some? She'd be like, no. And I'd be so proud of her. She don't even know. I'd be like so head over heels proud of it. Because if you could tell her mother no with the straight eye looking me dead in my face with the deadpan voice, I have no worries for her in the world. So I just wanted to share that. And yeah, I get it in the mornings. And if I can get it in multiple times a day, that's even better. But definitely the last time, it was maybe a few moments ago. So yeah.
Now, are we talking about you getting it in, or actually just saying no? Which I got lost.
The getting it in was the saying no.
Was the saying okay.
Yeah, that was that. It was just as rewarding as getting it in. If you get what I'm saying, yeah. I'm like, no. So
girl, picking with you, I knew what you meant.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, thank you for your contribution. we have little laughs every now and then. Ashley Rose, when was the last time you said, nah, I can't do it?
Man,
Last time you said no.
This is actually kind of deep for me because it's something that I wouldn't have put it in these words until you asked the question, and it was the first thing that came to mind, so I'll share. But I don't know if y'all have heard that TikTok that the girl, she was making a smoothie and she was like, have you ever quietly quit a friendship? Have you ever just quietly just quit?
You quietly said, hell no. We ain't doing this no more.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you just slowly fade back, and then the next time they see you, it's an accident, right? I think that is something that I had to do recently because it's a person that I cared very, very deeply about, but always drama, always self-inflicted. It's always something. And it's one of those things where you can be so connected to someone that their turmoil can kind of transfer to you because you take it on, especially if you're an empath. Like, you kind of start realizing that you're bringing patterns into your own life every time you get around them. Like, you something happens to you. It's weird, but that's what I began to notice. And the last time, life was going really, really, really well. And, crisis moment, she came and I'm like, okay, and I'm, picking her back up and things like that. And I just realized how absolutely drained I felt afterwards. And I was like, you gotta stop doing this, mama. I know it's over, but you gotta stop. Yeah.
We have sorry to interrupt you. I have a quick question. Are you a water sign?
I am not. I'm actually a cusp. So I'm Taurus Aries at the same time.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what she's describing is called ghosting. My daughter had to tell me, Mom, you ghost people. That's why they'll be mad at you. I was like, you can't just stop talking to people. I said, why? She said, that's called ghosting. I said, oh, well, baby, that's just what I do. I didn't need to explain myself. I just stopped talking to you.
Yeah. And I think
I'm kind of like how Ashley.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like the relevance of it is like, this is somebody that I care deeply about. Like, if she ever reached out and really needed me, of course I'd be there. But as far as like the constant day to day interactions and just how's it going with the problem, and there's always a problem, I'm over that. And so, yeah, I quietly quit. I
What are you
quietly quit the
guys?
friendship. And that was my
What
way of saying no.
what zodiac sign are you guys?
Oh, hold on. So you are free to ask that question from the comments because we're not discussing zodiacs.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we?
Yes. Can we continue? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Carry on.
Oh, it's just I had for Ashley. I'm sorry. It's because when she starts saying the ghosting, I was like, that's me. She's describing me. Oh my gosh, you're describing me.
Yeah, it's definitely a first for me, and especially for that person. Because, like I said, I think the significance of it is that I care deeply for this person, but those are the ones who can affect you the most if you look up and realize it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and they drain you and they will suck out of you. And I learned too, sometimes giving too much wisdom to somebody, giving a pearl to swine, it exhausts you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And guys, I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all have read this book, and I'll be super quick with this. It's a toxic book if you're looking to manipulate people. But if you grew up like me, very sheltered, and you needed to get out into the world and grow up real fast and understand about people, I read 48 Laws of Power to learn how not to get manipulated. And one of the laws of power was when someone come and basically trauma dumps on you on a regular basis, do you realize how much that can lower your vibration and your frequency, and you start manifesting trauma and BS in your own life if you keep this person around? I think that too was what motivated me to, like I said, quietly quit that friendship.
Yeah, trauma dumping definitely lowers your vibration and everything. I had to put a boundary up with one of my sisters in reference to that because she wasn't putting boundaries in her life. But she would come to me and tell me all about it. And after a while, I'm like, so what have you done about this? Like, you can't just trauma dump and, just vent all the time, but no action is being taken. I'm not that type of person. Now, in reference to the book recommendation that you gave, I will say this about that book. A lot of people use it to manipulate people, and it is a good way to learn how not to be manipulated. But I don't recommend it for people who have not done their inner work. And the reason for that is all you're going to do is use it to manipulate people.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the one thing I will say is that book, look at it. They banned this book in jails because men were using it to manipulate women, manipulate everybody. And again, there's nothing wrong with reading the book as long as you are reading it from the standpoint of learning how to identify how to keep yourself from being the person that's manipulated. But if you have not done your work, it kind of leans back into one of the lives we had a few days back when I asked the question, why do people choose manipulation over basic human decency? And it's because manipulating somebody is easier than doing your own inner work. So that book and the tactics that it has and a lot of other books like it, like there's a video on YouTube where this guy was talking about narcs and the books that narcs read to teach them how to be narcs more effectively. It included 48 Laws of Power and a few other books. But if you want to know about that, you can go on on YouTube. I'm not going to give you the roadmap to manipulate people, but that book does teach you what to look out for people who are coming to manipulate you and use you. So she was correct in that.
So it's a safety book for women.
It's a safety book for women if women have dealt with their internalized misogyny. If you have not dealt with your internalized misogyny, you're going to end up using those things to manipulate other people, including other women.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Amen.
So I think Ashley's safe with reading the book, but we got evidence of people who done read it and use it readily to manipulate people and to trauma bond with people along with other things. Pia, when was the last time you said no to someone you care about or something that really mattered?
It's really hard. I have an Aries daughter. Oh my gosh, Aries are so smart, okay? Aries are very, very, very smart. And she's so sweet. When my daughter was younger, it was very hard to discipline her because you cannot discipline a child to get straight A's. You can't discipline a child that behaves, so it's like I had to always say yes to her because I was the type of mother to say, okay, you can have this if you earn it. And it's kind of hard when the child really earns everything or when their personality is so strong that they want to accomplish things whether you give them an award or not. So just recently, my daughter asked me about car insurance for her and her boyfriend. And I was thinking about it like, I don't know if I should put them on my insurance because they're young. But what my daughter did? My daughter's so strong, she steps in for me a lot. She says, no, Mom, you don't want to, I don't want to be on your insurance because her boyfriend was asking his parents. And then and then he also asked me, and my daughter stepped in and said, no, we're not going to go on my mom's insurance. I don't think that's just not something I want to do right now. So she stepped in for me, but I was going to say no, but how she is, it was like, dang. So my daughter is very protective over me. But as far as me saying no, I haven't had to really say no to anything. My job right now is beautiful. I'm going to be starting a business for beauty. I have a lot of blessings going on. A lot of doors are opening for me. I think when I was younger, there was a lot of no's, things I had to say no to. I had to say no to modeling because I got married. I had my daughter. So I had to stop my life and I became a mother. So those are just things that are in the past. But other than that, I haven't really had to say any no's to anything. Nothing has been in my way to stop me from things. So, I've been through those wars and battles.
All right. Thank you so much. Bella, when is the last time you had to say no?
Baby, back up here. Toward the end of the summer, honey, when this youngest sibling of mine attempted to spin the block. And of course, I sat and gave her audience to go ahead and get off everything that she needed to say. And once I heard everything that I needed to hear, I was like, look, listen, I've given you the tools before. You are the author of your confusion, and I choose not to be a part of it. So I don't want to hear from you no more. And I closed the door on that.
Damn. But you got to do it sometimes. Because the thing is, if people put you in a situation where it's you or them, they should always be the one that's losing. Don't put me in a situation where I got to pick me over you because I'm going to pick me every time.
Exactly. I can only give you the keys to get you through this labyrinth every so often, and you ain't picking them up to work your way through this labyrinth to where you can see some daylight, but you expect me to let you ride on my shoulders to carry you through. I ain't doing it. I already worked through my stuff. I've already did what I needed to do for me. I've given you the answers every time you ask me something. I'm not fixing to re-raise nobody's rusty grown ass child, be a girl, woman or man. So no, hell to the motherfucking no. I'm not doing it.
All right. Back to zero. And thank you, Miss Bella. When was the last time you said no back to zero?
about a few weeks ago, and it was no to myself. I had to have a real conversation with myself and tell myself, no, no more of this. You need to sit this one out. Now, I am an empath, and one of the most difficult things for me to experience is watching someone close to me hurt and go through a difficult time. And I have found myself in situations where I've, bailed out a lot of people out of some really deep ish, right? But this time, the situation was self-inflicted. A child was involved in the mix, and in the beginning, I found myself, giving my money and my time and so on, and it was very difficult because this I'm talking about a child that was newborn child. So, I was babysitting, and that meant that I had to, put something else aside that I needed to do for myself to help out in this situation. Her mom abandoned her at the hospital, and her sister took her, and it was really taking a toll on her. Now this sister that decided to take the baby, and I, volunteered to help out. I was giving off my money, and I asked her to do some crochet. If you're looking at my picture now, that's the crochet braid. So I wanted, instead of going to the hairdresser, I asked her if she could help me with the crochet part of it, right? And she never said yes, but instead she was recommended me to someone who does hair. That means that I would have to pay that person, right? And I'm saying to myself, the reason why I asked her, I didn't say this to her, the reason why I asked her to do the hair for me, that money that I was going to pay to do the hair, I would just let the baby have it this week, along with whatever else I was going to give so that she could get some more stuff, right? And I slowed down and I looked at the situation. And I'm saying, I've never asked her for anything. I'm the one that's always giving in this situation. And here I am asking her to help me with the hair. I didn't ask her if she knew someone who did it. And I actually rephrased the question several times just to make sure that she understood that I'm asking her to do it, right? In case she didn't understand the first two times I asked. And I just simply pulled back. I didn't tell her that I was going to pull back. But when she came and said, was calling my phone saying that if I'm coming for the baby, I say, no, I'm no longer available to take care of her. I'm sorry. I'm no longer available for that. But before that, I was finding all sorts of excuses in my head saying, oh, the baby is innocent and this one really needs it and all that jazz. I was just trying to convince myself in my head that why I should ignore that she couldn't fill in for me when I'm asking her to. But here I am. She wants to suck, everything out of me. And I had to really say, shut up, shut your mouth and get out of this situation. Say, no, you're not doing this time. Stop this. And that's how I just told myself, hell no, not this time. And I'm done with this situation and move on from it.
Well, yeah, those situations where people think that they can get the benefit from us, and whatever it is, whether it's our time, our money, our resources, our attention, it's okay for you to get those things from us. But when we need to come collect from you, you don't want to be available, or you're going to recommend us to go somewhere to get something done where we have to pay. Yeah, we've been paying you with our attention and our resources. Yeah, that's specifically a time when you need to say hell no in your actions or your words. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, because that's a very good example. So anybody have closing comments or statements before we get out of here? Because we are done. Thank you for participating. And sorry for all my background noise. I'm moving
You're
some
in
things
you're
around.
in transition. This was good. I really appreciate you
Baby, she
holding this
played too
space.
much.
Right. I appreciate these conversations. It was going back to how when we started, as far as being aware that there's this narrative that Black women cannot get together and have wonderful conversation and get along. And I'm not saying that's not true. I'm saying that's not true. I'm saying that when you are respectful to yourself and you practice self-love and self-care and boundaries, you can have a conversation with anyone. So I think it's more accurate to say that many of us collectively in our Black women community maybe lack certain communication skills to know how to navigate when someone disagrees with you, when someone has a directly opposing view than yours, And I think once you learn how to communicate more effectively, and that does start with your own self-talk, then you have a space of grace and just a space of holding space for someone who may differ in opinion with you, even if they look just like you and you feel like your life can't go on because they don't directly agree with you. And I say that from personal experience. It was very challenging to come from having a narc mother and deal with the fear of other women and then not take every little disagreement with another woman to heart and take it as she doesn't like me, she doesn't respect me, and choosing the victim path. I had to do the work to learn how to communicate effectively, listen openly, and be able to have what I wanted, because what I wanted was to have relationship with Black women. And I'm able to have that now. And these conversations are like heaven to me. It's not like it's heaven. It just reminds me of that I've done the work and I deserve to be here and I've earned the right to be here. And all y'all so beautiful and your perspectives matter. And I'm just glad you're doing this, Mahogany. Kudos to you, sis.
Thank you. And thank you for participating, because without you all, I wouldn't have the information that I want to share on a collective level. Because, I have my opinions, but it's better when we come together and have these types of conversations so they can hear a variety of opinions. With that being said, I will say this before I get to the other sisters that are on the panel. This is a part of what we include in the self-mastery program, learning how to be more self-aware, both internally and externally, knowing how to identify a loving critic versus a hating critic, and practicing the art of authenticity and things of that nature. It's very easy to focus on yourself and love yourself when you recognize that you're operating in the true essence of yourself, because you've put the time in to truly know yourself. So I just want to share that. And if anybody is interested, we are open for enrollment with the self-mastery program. We do have a few more spots. I'm only allowing 8 people in for this round. So if you're interested, or you just want to sign up for free on the Patreon, go to the link in my bio on my page and we'll go from there. But let's get to Ashley Rose so she can share with us if she has closing thoughts, or anybody else. Open forum at this point. So anything y'all want to share, add, or what have you, just feel free before we close out.
I want to echo Tacos of Spiritual. Thank you so much, Mahogany, for hosting this space. Beautiful conversation as always, and always so necessary and on time as well. So thank you, and thank you for having us.
And again, thank you for participating. Now, Ashley Rose be doing her own lives on Tuesday, and she always has some great topics. In addition to her topics, she also has a digital product that she sells on one of her pages for anybody who's creating a business or wants to have some ebooks and different things. Shout her out, and she can share with you her page where she talks about that. Is there anyone else, Pia, Bella, Back to Zero, anyone else that wants to share any closing thoughts, or if there's anyone in the comments
that wants to come up in one of the boxes on the panel real quick and share closing thoughts about what you've heard tonight?
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for having these conversations. I believe I've been on 3 of your lives, and this is right in line with my energy. And what this has done for me is to validate my spiritual awakening journey and ascension process. Part of that is aligning with people who are in your same energy. And what has happened to me throughout this ascension process is that old patterns, old friends, old situation slowly fell away. Sometimes they, fell away the easy way, and sometimes they just fall away the hard way because I was trying very hard to hold on to those things because that's all I knew. But something happened to me this evening listening to you. It's almost as if hearing all these wonderful ladies speak, they came with something so different that I needed to hear. And I feel as though I'm being activated on another level. So I'm not too sure where exactly I'm going with this, but I just cannot express how euphoric this feels. It's so funny that you mentioned what Ashley does because I literally just created 2 ebooks, right? Because I'm part of the financial freedom that I want for myself is to have income coming in while I sleep. And this is a part of the process. So it's like everything is just coming together in divine order. So we're here to help activate each other. And I hope that everyone that participated here and the ones that are listening had the same experience that I had this evening on this live. So thank you, everyone.
You are very,
Well, thank you much for being here. And we have a couple people up on between our panel and the comments that are a part of the Self Mastery group. Y'all can reach out to them if y'all have questions in reference to what their experience is and all of that. Like I said, we got a few more spots open. Once those slots are open, it will take another 4 or 5 months for those to open up. So if you're interested and you think it's something that's for you, check out the Patreon. Also, there's a link on my page, on this current page and my backup page that kind of gets into a little bit of the details. And there's some videos on there for self-mastery as well if you want to get some details as to what's included and what we'll be covering in it. Does anyone else have any comments?
I just want to say that I get a kick out of coming in and kicking it with each and every one of y'all. I can be as silly as I want to be while shifting over into the serious analytical side of myself, and there's no judgment for the goofy. Or being told that the words that I use are a little bit too big or too much. Feels real good to be in a space like that and watching the generation of women coming behind me just busting the door open and making things happen. That's been a joy to watch. And being amongst y'all, I can see that.
All right. So don't forget to sign up, y'all, on the Patreon. You can sign up for a free link. For a free, as a free member on the Patreon. I will be hosting a once a month call, having some conversations that will not be public here on TikTok. And the only way that you will be able to get an invite is if you have signed up as a free member, because it's going to be based on the email that you use to sign up. And that is so that we can keep it secure and we don't have to worry about who all is going to be there, and we can talk freely amongst ourselves. So with that, I want y'all to have a wonderful
I have a question,
night.
Tara. I have one question before we go, real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I thought that was your music. I was like, not the you ain't got to go, but you got to
Girl,
get the out of here
that's
music.
Bella. That is Bella turning on the
Love it.
goddamn Purple Haze Sweet Out
Right,
this bitch.
right. Okay, so
I
my
knew it was
question is
Bella.
not really related to anything we spoke about. It's something that I've been wanting to ask since I've had the experience of being on panels. What do we do with the coin we get? Do we buy stuff on TikTok? Do we use it to give back to the host? Like, you know me, I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, somebody give me some coin, even though it's, online coin. What do I do with the
So,
online coin?
No, I'm the same way.
so,
I'm a cat. I don't know.
so,
I'm
what
lost.
you can do with it is that Bella, I'm gonna mute you up because
Yeah.
because I gotta talk over the music. And she trying to make us
Bella's
be
so
all
cute.
sensual and sexual and shit while we trying to close out. God damn it, I'm this shit. She the one over there with a husband and shit. She trying to get us
She
in the
getting
mood
her
and
booty
shit.
rubbed tonight, right?
Right.
Exactly.
She getting the biscuits, everything. I keep that shit to yourself, man. God damn. We over here talking about self-mastery and we over here for being it up.
It
And you gonna
started
play some
quiet, but it
sexy
got
ass music
louder.
at
You
the
know
end.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Right.
she turned the volume up and shit. God damn.
So what we supposed to do with these coins, sis?
We trying to focus and she just doing all extra, you know what I mean? Anyway. No, I love the music though. The vibe
It
was
was.
vibing.
It's good.
The vibe was vibing. I'm just picking with her. But yes, as far as the coins, you can use it whenever you go in people's lives to gift. Like if you want to gift other people that are on the panel, you would tap on their face. Like use Bella, for example. Tap on her. She would
Okay.
pop up and you would see the option to give her a gift. And you can pick whether you want to give her a 5-cent gift, 10-cent gift, 100-point gift, or whatever.
No, I
Now,
get
if
that.
you wanted to keep I'm
Okay.
going.
Oh, you're getting there.
Keeping
You're getting
going.
there. You cooking.
Right.
Okay, my bad.
So
My bad.
if you wanted to like cash it out, understand that TikTok takes half of everything. So let's say you got 53 coins right now. So when you cash that out, it's literally going to be like 26 or 27 cents. So as it gets to a certain amount, if you just let it collect and you don't spend it, you can get it deposited to your PayPal account, but you have to link a PayPal.
Where
That's the
do it be
only way they
stored
do
at?
it. So you go in under I would probably have to show you or do some screenshots. But if you
Okay.
go into like when you get out of the live,
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to go into either TikTok Studio or go into your settings on your page, and you'll be able to look for live rewards or something like that,
Okay.
and see where it is there, and you can set it up where you can cash it out to deposit it via PayPal or just use it
Oh, I
to gift
appreciate
people when
you.
you're.
Thank you so much. That was bothering me. I like to know stuff. I was like, what we gonna do with it? Thank you, sis.
Yeah, my
Oh,
thing
I
is this.
thought about one
Wait,
other thing before we leave. Go ahead, Pia.
well, it was related to that. So you mean when we are on lives and people are giving us coins, it's stored on our profile?
Yes.
I can't wait to go find out. Oh, and one last thing, Pia, since you said something, it reminded me. I be ghosting too, sis. So what I do now is when I start a new friendship or relationship with people, I let them know, hey, I be ghosting. I'm not the kind of person you could depend and talk to every day. I might not be available. It don't mean I love you any less. I'm gonna talk to you when I talk to you, and it's always gonna be good. And if you're real spiritually sensitive, you'll hear me talking to you in my head all the damn time. But I'm just not always up for a phone conversation. So I give that
Yeah,
disclaimer and
sometimes
let
it's
them work
not
it
a
out.
peoply moment. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just want to do your own thing. You don't want to be peoply. Outside be hella peoply. And see, I'm an introverted extrovert. When I'm out there and I'm social, I want to be social. But
Me too.
I love my alone time. Don't be trying to interfere with my alone time. So the other thing I wanted to mention before we get out here is that with the self-mastery program, there's other programs other than that one. And we do a sister circle. And we typically do sister circles on a specific day a week. And that's included in the program, but it's also included in the program just below the self-mastery one, just in case you're not interested in the full-on self-mastery program. So if you click the link in the bio and go to Patreon, it'll tell you how you can sign up for free, and it'll give you the offerings and all of that. But my whole point is once a month, there will be a class that if you're signed up for free, you let me know you want to participate. I will include you in the invite. But the main thing is that sister circle that we do, it
it allows a lot of conversation that's restriction free. So we talk about a lot of things. We discuss different things that we're going through, and essentially it's us supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to be able to build outside of public spaces with anybody that can pop in and pop out of our conversations. And that's a space where we can have those types of conversations. So I just wanted to put that out there, that's what that is a part of the offerings that are out there. But you'll be able, if you sign up for free, you'll be able to start participating with those. Like I said, I'm going to open them up for once a month. Anyway, as long as nobody else has any questions or anything, we are out of here.
I was going to
Everybody
close
good?
with my closing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't close my closing.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the last. I heard what everybody said on the panel, and everyone here is so beautiful. And I congratulate all of you guys on your beauty and your how you survived this far here in this lifetime. It was so funny because I prayed for, like how Back to Zero was saying she was trying to manifest things and ask for things, and I was asking for, okay, more self-awareness. And then now in Mahogany, I came on this page for a reason. I thought it was just for the questions. Then she started talking about mastery classes. People, I said, oh my gosh. Then another, what I'm also needing to learn that's been coming up is astrology, birth charts. Something told me, okay, I need to learn about birth charts to help people. So, because it helps you with mind, body, and soul, going all the way back to the beginning. I can't get into detail about it, but basically overall.
Yeah, but you're in the right place, because we have several astrologers that are within and amongst us, and I do human design, amongst other things. So, I mean, you got a lot of resources. So it's just a matter of you finding somebody that you resonate with, because that's the most important part.
Yes. So that's why I said, this is funny. I'm on this live, and she said astrologer. And I said, that's what I need. I have a whole book right here. This astrology. But astrology is not by itself. When we were talking about spirituality, I'm teaching myself about the 72 names of God, of Yahweh. And I said,
I got a book. That's the name of an actual book that I got in hard copy. I bought it several years ago. I got it on my shelf. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just get a plane ticket. I'm gonna fly out to your place, okay?
Well,
I'm gonna come
here's
over.
the funny part. Here's the funny part. On the Patreon, I have a level that includes exclusive content and a library. I have an external hard drive with over 600 ebooks on it, because I used to do something very similar several years back. So I kept my resources, because I knew a time like this would present itself. So when it comes to, I got all types of books. So it's just a matter of me loading some of them up periodically here and there. But that's one of the offerings on the Patreon. So take a look, even if it's not something you're interested in now. Maybe it might be something you're interested in later, but it's there. And we are here every Saturday at 8.
No, it's now. It's now. I need it now. Oh man, and I dedicated Sabbath my holy day. This is what, because the Sabbath is a holy day, and I said, show me what I'm supposed to do. I want to be able to put all this stuff together for spirituality. I need to know astrology. I need to know the birth charts. And now I'm here on TikTok getting it all. I just can't.
Well,
I have to acknowledge. I have to acknowledge when my what I asked for comes true right in front of my face. I can't deny it. So,
well, you're not supposed to deny it, because that's how more comes to you when you acknowledge the law. That's the law of recognition, recognizing what opportunities are in front of you. See, everybody wants to talk about the law of attraction, but what happens when you attract something and you can't recognize it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I have to acknowledge this. And that's what one of the things is acknowledging my blessings. And I've been getting so many blessings. That's why I was like, oh no, I got to stop and pray. And sometimes I'm stopping and praying in the grocery store. But when I recognize stuff, people probably looking at me like she crazy. But no, it's not like out there out loud, but just stopping like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. I'm really acknowledging and seeing that these doors are opening up. So that's why I said, okay, here's another door opening up. So you guys are all blessings. You said sister circle. This is exactly what I prayed for. This is so wow to me. This is happening right now. Wow.
Well, we thank you for your presence in Finding the Live. You know, we're all here hopefully to support each other and grow and pull together our resources, because we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do.
Oh my gosh, yes, I do. And I just can't believe I found all my resources in one spot. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I'm obviously going to be following all of you guys now.
Absolutely. We look forward to it.
Yes.
Okay, was there anyone else that wanted to say anything before we head out? Because I'm about to press this button and make it a night. Y'all have a wonderful
Join us
night.
on our Patreon, where we have a library, exclusive content, and of course the self-mastery course and an abundance of other options available. Sign up is free, and that will get you on the list to participate with our monthly Sister Circle gatherings.
Thank you for listening. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn the notification bell for more transformative content. Remember, you have the power to create your own reality. Never fear your own greatness. Mahogany Muse.